Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of your JFR, baby. As today, we're talking about the Toronto Blue Jays as they went up against the Houston Astros here in Series 4 of the year. As the Toronto Blue Jays walked away with a 2-1 series victory, where the Blue Jays played pretty good. We had some really good pitching, up until the last game, but even then, it was just really bad defensive mistakes, kind of was our big faulty in that game. But before we get into this amazing series, which it was a lot of entertaining baseball to say the least, I'd like to just say if you are new to the channel, make sure to smash that subscribe button and hit that like button as well. So I do have one major complaint. I was unfortunately not able to watch the game on Saturday because Sportsnet now was being a massive pile of shit for me. I was trying to watch the game, and every time I tried to watch the game, it threw me into Blue Jays 30, showing me the game from the first game of the series, so that was really irritating, so I decided not to watch the game because of how much of a piss-off that was. So go fuck yourself, Sportsnet, and fix your crap, man. Holy crow. Sometimes I hate Sportsnet, but sometimes I absolutely love it. Like, the blackouts that they do is absolutely horrendous. Just about everything with Sportsnet, I, hate to the bitter bone, but sometimes I just love it because they do a really good job at their service. It's just a lot of the times like that where I wasn't able to watch the game because apparently I was gonna watch fucking Blue Jays 30, even though I did not want to watch it at that very moment. So instead of me rambling on about that, let's get into the series here between the Astros and the Blue Jays. So we'll get into game one. The Blue Jays won 4-3 in a game where we seen Zimmer and Espinal hit some massive home runs. We also had, I think it was Ross Stripling as our starting pitcher in this game. So he's kind of our six-man starter, and he did quite well. He didn't do that bad, only gave up 5 hits. Gave up 3 runs in the third inning there. But overall, Ross Stripling had a good outing. He was doing really good. He was throwing some really good pitches, and he was going up against Justin Verlander, which was going to be a tough task just in general. But we were actually able to pick apart Justin Verlander and do a good job of running in some runs against him, which is a big thing. We weren't able to get too many runs against their bullpen, but we were able to tie up the game when Verlander was in on the mound. So we'll get into the bottom of the third here, which was kind of the first inning where we got to see some runs. There was 2 guys on base, and Michael Brantley was able to single a sharp line drive to center field. Martin Maldonado was able to go to third, same with Jeremy Pena, which loaded up the bases. Then Bregman singles a line drive, was able to get Maldonado to score, and once again the bases were loaded once again. Then Yulel Gurriel, Lourdes Gurriel Jr.'s brother, was able to ground ball a ball to the right field to Tapio, as I apparently cannot speak English. Pena scores, and same with Brantley throwing up the Houston Astros 3-0. But then the top of the 5, Espinal gets a solo home run for his first of the year, a 379 distance of that home run, and then Zimmer hits a big old solo home run right after Espinal. Espinal has to take off the jacket right quick, throw it on Zimmer, and that was his first home run of the season. And then, of course, we do tie it up right after that. And then Vladimir Guerrero Jr. singles a sharp line drive, getting himself the first. And then Chapman gets a double, and Guerrero Jr. absolutely books it from first all the way to home and was able to get the Blue Jays a lead. And then our bullpen was able to shut it down the rest of the way. Simber had a great outing. Meza was able to shut it down. And then Jordan Romano, with his 8th save of the year, was able to shut it down for the Blue Jays and get a big series victory, where there wasn't a whole lot of hits, but Guerrero Jr. did really good. Tapio didn't do too bad as the leadoff guys. Of course, Springer did not play in this game throughout the night. Of course, he was still dealing with that little contusion injury on his arm. So he's kind of just, being able to throw in there as a bench player, but not able to be played. He did play during the last game, though, and or was that the second game? Yeah, that was the second game. Springer was actually finally able to get back in lineup. He was just the DH of the night. He was able to play. And my lord, did he ever hit the fattest solo home run to begin the game off against his former team. This was his first game against the Houston Astros back in Minute Maid Arena. because last year he was unfortunately injured, wasn't able to go up against his old team, and Wally hit a solo dinger to start off the game, a lead-off home run against Ucridi. And this was the game where Alek Manoah was able to play in this game, and I gotta say, Alek Manoah did amazing. He had a really rough start off to the game. He gave 2 runs. He gave a home run to Bergman, and which was a 2-run home run, and was an amazing start for Alek Manoah. He was, not hitting the strike zone, but after that, he just locked it down. And great way, like if you were watching the Blue Jays broadcast, they were saying that Alek Manoah just totally changed his game. He was changing his delivery, and just kind of was able to calm himself down and just lock it down. A lot of pitchers are not able to. Once they give up a few hits or they don't look that great, they look bad throughout the entire game. But Manoah was able to go from, looking not that great to looking fucking amazing throughout the rest of the game. And he locked it down and was able to, not muster up a lot of hits. And whenever the Houston Astros did give up a hit, did get a hit, I meant, Alek Manoah was able to shut it down and lock it down the rest of the game. There wasn't a whole lot of runs up until the top of the 6th where Guerrero Jr. was able to single, and then that would have been at first, and then Lourdes Guerrero Jr. was able to get a sacrifice fly, which Bo Bichette was at third, or Bo Bichette was already at third or first. He was able to run to third with a nice single line drive from Guerrero Jr. was able to get himself to third, and then a nice sacrifice fly by Guerrero Jr. was able to tie up the game, and then Espinal gets another solo home run, another one, a 364-footer, baby, and he was able to get his second home run in 2 games in a row, another solo home run for Espinal, which gave us that, that lead 3-2, and we were able to shut it down the rest of the way with Simber getting the save this time, giving a little bit of a break to Jordan Romano, who's been getting a lot of starts. Yimi Garcia also did a really good job out there. He's been phenomenal, hasn't given up a single run yet. He's just been absolutely phenomenal for the Toronto Blue Jays. As we head into the last game, also to note, George Springer, that solo home run was beautiful. He did also mark in an RBI. Bo Bichette still struggling a bit to get the hits, but that's all right. He's still not looking bad, but he's doing all right defensively, but he didn't do all right defensively in the 8-7 loss where the Houston Astros got a walk-off home run from Jeremy Pena. He was able to get a walk-off home run for the Houston Astros, but this game was quite a crazy one, to say the least. I was watching it at work, or, from what I could. This was a game where Kikuchi started in this game, and he did all right, but it wasn't phenomenal. He gave up a lot of walks. Didn't give up a whole lot of hits, but whenever he, did allow a hit, usually it ran in a run because of the fact that he was walking a few batters as well. He lost, control of his pitches at some moments of time. There was some moments where he looked phenomenal, and then there was other moments where he just lost control of his pitches. And then that's when Richards took over, and, we used Merriweather, Meza, Phillips, Garcia, Thornton, and Romano. Basically our whole bullpen, so it's a good thing that we got Berreus coming up, so hopefully Berreus is going to be able to do 6-7 innings in this next game, because we don't have very much of a rested bullpen going to the next game. So I think this is a big game for Jose Berreus to really take control. So we'll get into the scoring summary of this game, as well as McCormick was able to single ground ball to shortstop Bo Bichette. To shortstop Bo Bichette, of course. Ellis Diaz scores, Jeremy Pena to third, and Martin Maldonado to second. The bases were already loaded at this play, as well as Kikuchi, loaded up the bases. Of course, we did get out of that inning with only allowing 1 run, but then Michael Brantley was able to get a 2-run home run, as that put up the Astros 4-1, and then Gurriel Jr. was able to get us right back with a solo home run dinger, getting it to 4-2, and then Zach Collins continues to hit dingers, man, just continues to hit dingers, as he was able to get a nice 3-run home run for the Toronto Blue Jays, getting his third dinger of the year, getting the Blue Jays tied up at 5. We were able to march our way right back into this game, and then Espinal was able to double, which, scored Tapio from first. He's a speedy motherfucker, and was able to get the Blue Jays a lead, 6-5. And then in the bottom of the 7th, a wild pitch was able to get Yuli Gurriel to third. He was already on base there. From second, he was able to hit a huge double, and then Diaz was able to single line drive and was able to get Gurriel to score to tie up the game. And then nothing else really happened. We got the bases loaded at the top of the 8th, but wasn't able to score. We weren't able to do anything in the top of the 9th. Same with the Astros until the top of the 10th. We were able to get kind of the bases almost loaded. 2 guys at second and first. Gurriel Jr. doubles, a great sharp line drive, able to score. Bo Bichette and Guerrero Jr. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. was able to get the third, giving us that lead. But then Jeremy Pena was able to smack a big 2-run homer run and able to get the Astros a 8-7 victory. And like I was saying in the last episode, sooner or later, Jordan Romano was going to blow the save, and it was his, first blown save in 30 consecutive saves. So I do give it to Jordan Romano. He's been amazing and flawless. You're going to screw up sooner or later, and that was this tonight where Jordan Romano gave up a pitch that was just Jeremy Pena was going to smack out of the park, and he certainly did for the Houston Astros, which was very unfortunate. But hey, we did very well in the series against a team that, has been struggling to get hits. They were able to get hits tonight. They were able to really, start putting some pop in their bat, and they were able to pick apart a few of our bullpen hands. David Phillips didn't do too phenomenal. Meza gave up a hit. Yimi Garcia. I mean, our bullpen still did very good. I do give it that. But Kikuchi, it was throughout the night, and I think that was a big thing for the Toronto Blue Jays, where he just looked very meh. But in the end, the Toronto Blue Jays still played very well, but now we got a big 4-game series against the Boston Red Sox, so it should be a pretty fun series, as all the games are starting at basically 4, but for the last game there against the Red Sox, where it's starting a little bit early. So we got some baseball coming up. That should be a lot of fun to watch, but for now, guys, I'm going to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next JFR, as hopefully the Toronto Blue Jays whoop the Boston Red Sox's ass. As for now, guys, I'm going to end it all here. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys all later. Adios, amigos.